Hello everyone, this is Pooja and I am here with a wonderful poem, The Fly. This poem is written by Walter de la Mare. This poem is about the perspective, how the way the small creatures look at the things, how the things are different from their point of view. This is an imaginary poem which surely takes the reader to the land of fantasy. Let's find out the complete poem. The Fly, written by Walter de la Mare. Walter de la Mare was a British poet, short story writer and novelist. He often wrote under the pen name Walter Ramel. Many of his poems and stories were written for children. He received several awards for his literary works. This poem is from the collection Songs of Childhood. In this poem, the speaker thinks about how things that are small to us would look enormous to a fly. He uses different imagery to explain how everything would look different, bigger, brighter or frightening to the tiny creature. Now children, let's read the complete poem. How large unto the tiny fly must little things appear, a rosebud like a feather bed, its prickle like a spear, a dewdrop like a looking glass, a hair like golden wire, the smallest grain of mustard seed, as fierce as coal of fire, a loaf of bread, a lofty hill, a wasp, a cruel leopard, and specks of salt as bright to see as lambkins to a shepherd. Now children, let's understand the poem stanza wise. So here goes the first stanza. How large unto the tiny fly must the little things appear, a rosebud like a feather bed, its prickle like a spear. Here, unto means the old way of saying to. Prickle means thorn and spear a sharp pointed weapon. In this stanza, the speaker introduces his main idea with an exclamation point. He says that the fly is a very tiny creature, so the things that are small to us look large to it. He says that when a fly goes and sits on a rosebud, the rosebud seems like a luxurious bed, very soft like velvet to it. And the thorn of the rose plants looks like the spear or a long thin weapon to the fly. These lines brings the images which invite us to consider or think about how a change of perspective, the way you see something, lead to us. Through the point of view of a fly, the things which are small to us seems very large or enormous to the fly. So, a rosebud seems to it like a luxurious soft feather bed, and the thorn of a rose plant seems like a dangerous weapon like spear. A dewdrop like a looking glass, a hair like golden wire, the smallest grain of mustard seed as fierce as coal of fire. Here looking glass means mirror and fierce means dangerous. The second stanza lists 3 more objects and describes what they must look like to the fly. A dewdrop like a looking glass. It means a drop of dew is like a full-sized mirror to look into, because maybe the fly can see its image in a dewdrop. A hair like golden wire. Here, a piece of hair is like a shining strand or string of wire for the fly. The smallest grain of mustard seed, as fierce as coal of fire. Here, a tiny mustard seed seems to have the size and strength of a chunk of burning coal. These 3 images take the tiny insignificant objects around us and brings the view so close that they become beautiful and powerful to the fly. A loaf of bread, a lofty hill, a wasp, a cruel leopard. Here lofty means tall, high, and wasp means a small black and yellow insect. The third stanza lists 3 more comparisons. Here the poet says a loaf of bread, a lofty hill. It means a loaf of bread looks like a tall, high hill to the fly. A wasp, a cruel leopard. Here the poet compares a wasp to a leopard because of the black and yellow stripes on their bodies. The poet says that maybe the fly is afraid of a wasp. The wasp is bigger than the fly. It can sting it or hurt it. The fly is very small in front of a wasp. So, maybe the wasp seems to it like a dangerous leopard. A wasp is similarly dangerous to the fly as a leopard to us. And specks of salt as bright to see as lumpkins to a shepherd. Here specks means very small pieces and lumpkins means small lamb. Here, and specks of salt is bright to see as lumpkins to a shepherd. This means both salt and lumpkins are white in color. Although specks of salt are very small, they would look large enough to a tiny fly. So the fly would be able to see them as clearly as a shepherd can see their lumpkins. The poem speaks about how these ordinary and everything look so insignificant to us, but in actual they are so beautiful. It's all about how we look at them. The tone of the poet is so amazing. The poem makes the reader look at the world in a complete different view and takes the reader into the land of fantasy. I hope, children, you have understood the poem well and you liked the explanation. Okay, see you for the next time. I hope you all liked the poem.